Welcome back, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker. It is Christmas Eve, and the lake effect is on the move. After battering the Tonawondas and North Buffalo throughout the day today, it is now beginning to slip south of the 290 on its way to the south towns, bringing those whiteouts into spots that haven't felt them since early on Friday. With me tonight, we have weather spotter and meteorologist David Vogan, who has sourced some awesome images for you today. You have texted us amazing pictures that we're going to share with you as well. And on the center of the screen, you can see Doppler. This is what we're keeping an eye on. That band that's still targeting areas of the North Town, slipping south of the Tonawondas, but squarely into the city. This is the view that we have right now. It's not much. The city has returned to whiteout conditions after breaking out of those a little bit earlier in the day. This is the all-important information of what you want to know. We're going to clear us out and move this in. David, walk us through what we have for the next 12 hours, getting us to, we'll go breakfast on Christmas Day, lunch, and then dinner.
Yeah, this band is going to remain stationary over the Buffalo area just towards midnight and then slightly shift southward. But once we go into the morning, I mean, this is in the south towns, Route 28, West Seneca, East Aurora. You folks are going to be getting more snow, unfortunately, and those winds are still going to be gusty out there, Andy.
That's right. And then as it comes back, what happens in the evening there?
The evening on Christmas Eve, I mean, it starts to move back up towards the Buffalo area. So, yeah, this thing is not done.
Christmas Day, I believe we're talking about right there, right?
Yes.
That's right. All right, let's talk about a couple of these big images. Snow totals, actually. Put this on the screen, run this down. Now, that airport number, we're going to add to that a little bit tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo Airport, that's brand new information that just came into our desk, and they've got almost 3 feet of snow out there. Kenmore, 27 inches. Harris Hill, that's right around the Eastern Hills Mall. You folks got almost 2 feet. Williamsville, 18 inches. And then the Tonawondas, I have a feeling that number is about to go way up past 15 inches, Andy, because that band has been sitting on top of the North Towns all the way into southern Niagara County for quite some time today.
Yeah, most of the day was spent up there. It did spend some time whipping the shoreline of Lake Erie. I believe this is hoax. And our friend Rich took these images. He was able to get down there and brave some of those icy waves. Weather_Buffalo. That is a great follow on Twitter. Neat stuff. Look at that. If you've got questions or comments about this thing coming along into your backyard, just put them on this screen. We're happy to do it. Look at that. Look at, you think you have icicles. Look at this at hoax. That's going to take a while. But go ahead, put your comments in there. And another thing, if you could do it for us, you've got a like button and a share button, whether you're watching us on Twitter or you've got us on YouTube or on Facebook. We're one big family tonight. Go ahead and like and share this for us if you could. Just hit that button and get it going. That's awesome. We appreciate it. It's a whiteout in Depew. I believe you here. Let's go ahead and zero on in. We're going to bring Doppler up full, give you an idea of what's happening out there. And Hannah, it is firing on all cylinders out there in portions of Buffalo, right on up to Depew, where you are there as well. Where are we going else here? Is it leaving Amherst? Yes, it is. North towns are getting better, and the south towns are preparing. So let's talk about where it is not right out of the gate. It is not in the Tonawondas. After pasting them with whiteout conditions all day long, this is what we're finding now. Everybody wants to know, when is it coming down here into my backyard? We're going to answer all of these things right now. Driving tomorrow from Lockport to Amherst to Alden. If you're in the North Towns, driving tomorrow should not be a problem, because once this leaves the area, it's going to continue down to the south. So the 290 improves. Kenmore is going to be right on the edge. I think downtown Buffalo stays in the game for a good chunk of the overnight. So this is when you're going to add to that. Cheektowaga, Depew, West Seneca, you can see how we're right in there. That's where some of the strongest snow is coming in. We still have those gusty winds. That's going to continue to pound these areas, adding to the totals and making it be a tough go as we get into tomorrow. The first Lancaster question, Nikki, it didn't take long. Thank you for that, because Lancaster is going to be in the snow zone tomorrow. And as we bring it in, Lancaster, Depew, you can see Elma. This is all coming your direction. The folks that are going to take the biggest hit during the night and into tomorrow are going to be the folks that are sitting right here. You're going to be within this area that's on the screen. That's going to be the new bullseye for the next 24 hours as we look at Christmas Day. Now, it doesn't just go there, but all the way down the shoreline, you can see it. There's Sturgeon Point, Lake Erie Beach, Silver Creek. So you can expect those whiteouts all the way down there. Great to have everybody in. Please do us one thing. We just saw a lot of people walk in the room. Like this and share it right now. If everybody could do that all at once, we could get it out of the way and not have to do it again. What it does is allows a lot more Western New Yorkers to enjoy this, come in and take advantage of some of the questions here. Stuck around in Grand Island way longer. It did. They got buried on Grand Island. We've got some awesome images that are coming in as well. We're going to talk about those. South Buffalo is going to get it again, Cheryl. Thanks for coming back. Jamestown, you're kind of out of the party on this. I think it stays to the north of you. Marissa, go Bills. Happy to do that. How fun is that to have them win on this cold day? West Falls is not quite in the bullseye, but let's bring it in here. I think West Falls is going to be just on the outside looking in of the heaviest snow. It's going to be pretty close. You're right in there. Some of these totals, as we pop them on the screen, you're going to see that you're up a dozen, a nice baker's dozen, maybe in West Seneca, Hamburg, Orchard Park, and then it drops off quick once you get down there towards Springville. So that's the situation that we are watching tonight as far as snow totals. When we look at the map where it is now, I want to kind of fill people in because this is important. I know there's still driving bans all over. One thing that I can tell you right now, we are not able to tell you when the driving bans are going to be lifted. So I'll save you the trouble of asking that question. I can tell you that the snow is going to be ending the North Towns, but it might not coincide with the driving ban being lifted immediately because they're going to have to clean all that area up. We've got Chilai in the house. Hamburg Seven Corners is going to be changing rapidly over the next few minutes. It's already starting to snow. The stadium is right there in Orchard Park, and the snow that's coming down is going sideways as well. So we're seeing all of that stuff happen, and it is one tough night again across Western New York. Tonawanda has had their share. I know they're so unnerved by this, but it is so close. It's just going across the 290 now, creeping ever so slowly towards the city. I think it's going to hold this line for a while longer. So you're going to find Kenmore, North Buffalo, the 990, Amherst, Clarence, Akron, Depew, Buffalo. You're going to add to your totals once again before the winds can shift this a little bit further to the south. That's why that snow zone is a little bit further south this time as well. Still snowing in Tonawanda. Yes, we just talked about it. If you're south of the 290, you're probably seeing the snow. If you're north, it's not. It's probably going to stay off of Springville from a direct hit. You'll see some sideways snow, but you're not going to see it pile up as much as possible. What will the village of Hamburg look like at 4 o'clock tomorrow? Probably pretty similar to this image right there that you see on your screen. You're going to find that all of that action is going to be in the backyard of the South Town. So everything that the North Towns got, all those images that we've seen, those numbers are coming to the South Towns. I'm going to pop this up, David, real quick. This is in Buffalo. Talk about the effect of the wind. Now, granted, these are not the most well-built homes. They are quite aged. I can tell you there's a gentleman that lives in the home on the right. The home on the left was scheduled for demolition, but now it's leaning on his house. The wind literally would have blown that one over. That's one of those images. We have a ton of those that came in. Ellicottville wants to know what's going on down there. Let's go ahead and look at the predictive model if we can, and we'll come back to those other ones in a moment. And I know we can pop that up real quick. All right, there it is right now. We've got Eville is wondering, is it going to make it down there? And it's going to, I think, edge down to southern Erie County, but it is not a direct hit for Ellicottville. Clarence Center, clear tomorrow. Yes, Clarence should be to the north of all this activity. When's it going to be done in the city? Not for a while, Marissa. I think it's going to sit around there for much of the evening. When's it? What do we have here? I've got another one here. It went too quick. Is this going to be? There it is, right there. How soon can people expect power to come back on in Tonawanda? One of the big things, Cassie, about the power trying to get back on, I'm going to bring us back up here, Dave. One of the things about the power is the winds. The winds are slowly settling down. Then they can start to get those bucket trucks up. The visibility was terrible. I think that'll start happening as we go through the day tomorrow. What about Eden around 5 o'clock? You want to handle that one, Dave? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's bring that back. We're going to pull it full and talk about Eden at 5.
Yeah, 5 p.m. You're just going to be on the outside here looking in. I mean, the band is just going to be just to the north of Eden on Christmas Day around 5 o'clock in the evening.
You got it. All right, Chautauqua County, Erie, PA, you're going to be right on the edge of this band. It's going to be sliding up the shoreline. I think you're out of the major hit, but you're going to have an issue there still. That's going to be so close. Holland in the house. They want to know about what's going to happen there just south of Buffalo. It's just south of the deeper south towns in Holland. And I think this is not going to be a direct hit for Holland, but it's going to come pretty close. You're going to get some snow going sideways, but I don't think you're going to have the episode that the north towns had. I'll pop you go do your thing with that, and then we'll go ahead and pop the totals on the screen as soon as you get that. There's where it's going to be. I'm sorry, David. I meant these totals right here. This map.
Got it. Okay.
Folks, yeah, this gives folks an idea of where it's going to be. I don't think it's going to go a lot much further than Hamburg and East Aurora for the big totals. It's going to spend more time there. The city of Buffalo is getting hit again. I can't stress that enough as we watch that whiteout. Again, just smash that area. Are we back to some imagery?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have video. This is the Peace Bridge, by the way. Look how eerily quiet it is. This is the U.S. side where the U.S. inspection plaza is, and there's just a bunch of snow drifting on there. There's no tire tracks. There's nobody on here at all, obviously, but it is an eerie sight to see now.
Wind gusts in the north towns. Hold that picture because look at the snow. It is going right across the bridge. You can see it in the lights there. How much in Kenmore? We're trying to get these totals tomorrow morning. I think we're going to see a lot of the totals come in. It is extremely difficult to measure because in one side you've got 6-foot drifts. On the other side you've got bare grass. But that is the thing. Everybody says, someone said, why isn't, where was it? Why isn't it shareable? If you could do that, if you could just hit like and share and smash this thing right now, everybody does it and we can bring as many folks in here. Let's re-rack this to the top because we've got a ton of people who just came in the room. Number one, this is the snow zone for the overnight hours and into the day on Christmas. You can see that Buffalo extending all the way to Akron and down to Hamburg. I can tell you right now that we're finding this snow band is on the move. It's leaving North Tonawanda and it is working its way to the south. It is ever so slowly progressing, but you can start to see it over the lake. It gives it an indication this is going to slide even further south. There's the 290. Kenmore still in whiteout conditions. The South Grand Island Bridge. Dave, if you could try to grab the South Grand Island Bridge and let's see if
I actually have video from the West Seneca Police right now pulled up.
Let's do it.
I'm going to leave the sound down here because listen to this.
Oh, that's where they're driving their plow through the through West Seneca. That's right.
That's the sound right there. I mean, it is, the plows are shaking because of the big gust out there. But yeah, I mean, that's some good video from the West Seneca Police Department. I mean, that is some blinding snow.
It is, and that's what's happening out there right now. Cheektowaga Harlem Road, is there any relief stuck at the hospital? Unfortunately, no. You're going to be right in that snow zone for a while. Cheektowaga getting hit again. It left you alone for a little while. Now it's coming back. Out in Bennington, we're going to bring this out to Allegheny. We're out into portions of Genesee and Orleans County. So some of that snow making it all the way up there. Is there any lifting of the driving ban? Again, the weather conditions will improve in the north towns, but it's going to be tough for them to just say, all right, let's pull this out because the chance that they have to clean the roads before you can get at them. Clarence, you're getting another hit. You're on the screen there as well. You can see you're in that snow band right now. That's where it's going to be for a while. South Buffalo, it's coming your way. Airport is closed until Monday. Folks, if they're not afraid to close the airport till Monday, what do you think they think about the thruway? I think that's probably an indication of they're going to err on the side of caution. So some good video. What is Monday morning going to be like? I have to go to that. 6:30 in the morning on Monday is looking a lot better as this thing kind of fades away. We just had Batavia on the map. We'll put it back. You folks get to drive the bus. You tell us what you want to see, and we'll put it on there for you. Try to answer as many of the questions as we had. It's Boston to OP drivable tomorrow. Why don't we put this? I think tomorrow you're going to find a tough go of it. And here's why. I'll take care of this one on this side of the screen. And what we're going to do is put the snow zone back up. And if you haven't seen this yet, this is going to be the thing that defines where you're going to end up and what you're going to end up in. And those areas that are in the purple are going to be the ones that end up with double-digit snow again. Between about 10 and 14 inches, a lot of it going sideways. The further inland you go, it drops off a little bit, but the whiteouts will be contained within this zone during the course of the day on Sunday. It extends all the way down to Lake Erie Beach. There'll be lesser amounts as you go towards Springville, but you're also going to end up with whiteouts down there as well, a little progressively into the day. Let me hide this comment, come back here.
So I do have a camera pulled up near the South Grand Island Bridge. A lot of those cameras actually from NITEC, looks like some of them have been knocked out. Don't know what the issue is there, but this is right near that 190 interchange right here before you get onto the South Grand Island Bridge.
Yep.
And the good news is, I mean, this is the best picture I've seen out of that area around River Road in quite some time here. So it's quiet, but you can see nobody's on the road. It's very icy. It's very cold out there. You do not want to be out in this if you don't have to.
So that matches up to what we've got on the map right here. And Debbie, we're going to answer Concord. You're probably a little too far to get really into the mix of the deep snow, but I would expect blowing snow. So the camera we were showing you is over close to the South Grand Island Bridge. That confirms that this is now continuing to move further to the south, which is great news. We've had questions about that all day. When is this going to go? When is it going to go? It hung out over Grand Island about 6 hours longer than a lot of the computer models thought. And that's why the trend tonight, the computer models want to take it all the way down to Springville and spend it down there. But it looks like it's going to be a very slow go. The trend is to kind of go very slow. Amherst getting slammed and will continue to do so for the next few hours. It's going to take almost until the morning hours of Christmas Day for this to finally exit areas of Clarence, Amherst, Williamsville getting hit again. And
I also have some new video coming in right now. If you want to push back to my screen, this is the base of the Skyway, by the way. Look at this. I mean, barely can see the lamps out there, and you can see the snow being lit up from the lamps, and it just blowing and gusting, and it's just continuous. Look at that.
So the base of the Skyway, what I want to do is, holy cow, I just took a look, the winds on that, the wind speeds are still gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour. I want to juxtapose the map on the screen. And so what you're seeing is, again, in reference to what you were just watching, that is the base of the Skyway located right there. And that's the portion of this band that is just an absolutely, hold that spot, I'm going to bring it back, absolutely plastering Route 5. I mean, look, you can see the streetlights wiggling. That is a fire hose of snow blowing right in. This is the view from up top, and you can see that there's houses and lights down there, and you can barely make those out. That is an awesome image. Thanks for bringing that in, David. That really gives people the idea of what's happening out there. And folks that are in the South towns where it's not coming down that bad, it's about to. That's the imagery that you're going to have. West Seneca, Lancaster, all of that is coming there. Those are not tail lights. Those were the lights that were on the road themselves. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Stacy. Love it. We appreciate everybody who just shared and liked it. And if folks who just came in want to do the same thing, that would be great. If you haven't, you can always text us as well when we're not live. Text weather to 503-ANDY, 503-2639. Feel free to share that. I know we're going into a big day tomorrow with family and friends. And if this was helpful to you, please feel free to go ahead and share that number with anybody you'd like. We've got another one. Hamburg to North College, Christmas afternoon. What can we do there Christmas afternoon? Can we bring the model in and see? It's going to be pretty close to some of those South towns from Springville to Hamburg, I think.
Yeah, but notice the northern trend once again. I mean, this is going to move back up. It's going to be wobbling a little bit once we go past midnight tonight, just to the south of Buffalo and into the South towns. But it's going to move slowly north. At least that's what the model trend is right now. Yep,
and we've got another one in here that says Tonawanda got worse, and it hasn't stopped. It did. Tonawanda got worse all day today. It was not pretty. We talked to Rob Lucas up there in Tonawanda, and he had some whiteout conditions. They really came back in earnest just after 1 o'clock by kickoff. But North Tonawanda, Wheatfield, Grand Island looking good. But Tonawanda, Kenton, Fort Erie on the other side of the border in Williamsville, Main Street, it is bad. When's it going to move out of South Buffalo? Do we want to touch on that one back here on the, let's just pop this one in. There it is. Yeah. Let's see if we can bring that up and talk about when it moves out of South Buffalo. It's going to be on the fringe all day, right?
Yeah. just past midnight, you might see a break, but it's going to be close to South Buffalo during the overnight and into Christmas Day.
Yep. And she wants to know, is the same situation coming for Elmer and Marilla? Since you were kind of zeroed in there, I think the answer is unequivocally yes. You're going to see those whiteout conditions during the day tomorrow. So the South Towns, we've had a lot of people say, wow, this was a bust. The whole thing was it was going to spend its time up by the city and then work its way south. And that's what we're finding. That's what we're finding right now. And this is what we have on the map as far as where the snow band is. How much longer for Kenmore? A few more hours. You can see as it continues to slide south of the 290 there, it is working its way very, very slowly south. Looking for an overview of tomorrow and Monday. Is that something we can do after? Let's get this picture in, and then we'll do an overview for you, Kelly. Another photo coming in. By the way, if you have a photo that you think you want to share, are you the one with the 9-foot drift out there? You can text them right there, 503-ANDY, 503-2639, and we're happy to, we'll share them on the stream as we get them. We're popping them in. What is this pic? Is that a shrub buried in there?
Sue just sent this in. This is from Pendleton. She's saying that this is a snow drift out my front side door in Pendleton.
Wow.
How do you even get out?
These drifts are crazy.
Yeah, at the door, I mean, you have to, I don't know how you get out.
Nope. You got a window. You're climbing out the window.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to hear stories about people that had to bail out the windows. Is Fredonia getting any of this? So I want to move on real quick here and go back to the Doppler while Dave is going to kind of re-rack that and see what other content that you guys send us. Fredonia has been kind of on the outside looking in down here in Dunkirk, but it is coming. You can see as it gets closer to the shoreline, and it's going to continue to slide up that direction. It says, when are we going to see a plow? Kenmore getting slammed as well. Amherst, New York. Yeah, the National Guard may be out there to help them, no doubt about it. Tomorrow it goes back. It goes to the South Towns. Will it come to the North Towns? It'll get there on late in the day on Sunday, but it will be a much more weakened situation. Is Frewsburg done? Yeah, I believe Frewsburg, you're down to the south. You may see some blowing snow tomorrow, but that's it. Erie, Wyoming County, Alden line. Shall we put that up there? And does this get out to Wyoming County? And if so, when? When is the worst in Wyoming? There's Attica. So tomorrow morning, and it looks like that'll continue for how long? Most of the day, right?
Yeah, through the afternoon. But the good news is with this trend, at some point, we are going to get some drier air working in, and that's going to help weaken this band as we head late Christmas Day into Monday.
Yeah, that's right. Lockport got pummeled today. We had a question about Arcade on the screen. Arcade is in that zone there as well. You can see as we kind of roll through it, this is where it goes from the current time, which is where it is sitting over the city. And then tomorrow morning, it's going to be in the South Towns, just to the south of the city. And Lockport is out of the party. So Lockport and Grand Island, all those communities got hit today, should be out of that as well by the time we get to tomorrow. Is it going to be, is it going back up north? It really doesn't make it back up into the North Towns until it's pretty weak out of this whole thing. When's expected to move out of Kenmore? Momentarily. We can show you here. Every time we come back and revisit this, it looks like it takes a slightly more southern jog. It is not moving fast. There's Kenmore. There's the edge of the snow. And you can see in the next couple of frames, it'll be just to the south of the 290. It's just, I mean, it is excruciatingly slow. Her son got stuck in Kenmore, is desperate to get home. What are we looking at? Almost, I want to say about 3 in the morning, maybe 5 in the morning for her to make that drive.
That's if you can. I mean, here's what I'm going to say. I know that officials have been just asking people to hunker down. I know it's tempting, but they're having so many issues with stranded motorists out there. That is, it's really stressful on emergency vehicles, crews. I mean, there's pictures of abandoned police cruisers, pictures of abandoned fire trucks. I mean, it's just a bad situation.
Yeah. Now, a lot of this, again, here's the expected totals. And what I would do is when we think about this snow consistency is so light and fluffy. These numbers, you can just use this to know where you're going to be shoveling. If you're in this purple, you could see a foot of fluff. again, and it's going to be sideways. It's going to add to the drifts that are already there. Laura says it was bad in the falls today, 100%. Coming down
I have
again.
a new picture for you.
You got to know. Hey, put it on.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of texts from the text line coming on in, people sharing pictures with us. And Maureen just sent this from Williamsville. Take a look at it as we put it on the map here. Whoa. That is a good, that's a good drift out there.
It is a bit.
Yeah.
It's taller than the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see stuff like this all the time. Let's see. Is this coming? Yeah, coming down again in Linden. Is this by Linden in Franklinville in Cuba Lake? I think you guys are going to be too far south to really get into this. You'll see blowing snow and some snow, but you're not a direct hit. Let's go to the map a little bit here just to give you an idea. You get further south down there, the New York-Pennsylvania line. This is not going to be an issue. You'll get some blowing snow, but as far as the totals and the whiteouts, those are going to be really contained. That's the strike zone right in there that goes down to Hamburg and on the lake. Speaking of Hamburg, what do you have there? You got a new one?
Yeah, I'm trying to find who sent it though. This was from Jamie. Yep. I want to say from Jamie. And this is her neighbor's house. It's almost covered.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's starting to, boy, when it starts to climb the windows, that's a real deal. I'm going to bring in Skycam real quick because we actually have a picture. Somehow we're getting a little break in downtown Buffalo. You can kind of see the roads. The cars that we were watching before, I can't zoom in on them because they're encased in ice, and this will disappear again because, as I mentioned before, that band is pounding the city right now where we kind of go in and out of this. He wants to know what about Angola? We brought that in a little bit earlier. We'll bring it up again. Angola is going to be one of the spots that gets all of those whiteout conditions during the course of the day. Medina is still bad. When is it stopping? Medina, you're going to be kind of on the outside looking in tomorrow. So I think over the night tonight, you're going to see that as well. Accumulation estimates. Is anyone in the North Towns will tell you it wasn't the total amount of snow that was the it was the sideways snow. It was the blindingness of it. It was the paralyzing wind and snow. And that's what we're going to get tomorrow, those whiteouts. So the number itself is not going to be dramatic. The drifts. And I've heard that from so many people that say, if it was just the snow, that's one thing, but these drifts are bad. South Buffalo is going to get hit. You're in the snow zone there again tomorrow.
Hey, and you were just talking about the North Towns. Sorry, I got another photo here. This is the Boulevard Towers in Amherst.
There it is.
You can see, the drifts are almost as tall as the lamppost right here. Yep.
Kenmore will look like that, but without the blowing snow or the falling, without the whiteouts, I should say. So we have Michelle wondering what that's going to be. If everybody in here, we've got a lot more people. All we ask from, we'll take all the questions you want. Stay down here till Christmas morning, till my kids want to open up gifts. But all we ask from you is a quick like and a quick share. So whether you're watching on whatever format, you've got YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, if everybody right now just gives us a quick like and a share, and we'll keep going. We'll answer all the questions you want. This is great. Happy to help everybody plan their day, which is, for most folks, not driving, especially in the South Towns, because all of those bad weather views that you see, this type of weather is headed towards the South Towns right now. That's the snow zone, if you will, as we discussed, where you're going to have the whiteouts, and it extends all the way from Silver Creek all the way along the Thruway to Akron. The Thruway will not be opening in that section tomorrow. I'm not sure when they're going to open it. I don't want to speculate on all of that as well. Is all of winter going to be like this? No, we actually have a break coming up this week. So imagine that, Mother Nature letting us have a little breather here. A huge drift against the garage in Tonawanda. If you have one, text it in, Luann. Love to see it. You can just text it just like any other person. 503-ANDY, 503-2639. A friend went to rescue a neighbor 3 miles away. 3 miles. It took 4 hours. First of all, I applaud him for helping out the neighbor, and we appreciate that. Yeah, you can share pictures.
I was going to say the wind chill out there, what it feels like, and the wind. It's negative teens, negative 20s. That doesn't take long to numb the face, the hands. it's extremely cold outside. So
Yeah.
props to your neighbor.
Yeah, look at this. More and more questions about. I think NT is so gun shy right now after what they saw today. This toughened up the North towns. The South towns got hit a bunch of times. Folks in Lancaster. This seasoned. This will make you better, North towns. After what you got today, that is not good. We've got 3 feet in the streets of Williamsville. They're going to need big equipment. Absolutely. We've got the wind will die down enough in Kenton for them to restore power tomorrow. I think it does. It starts dropping down to about 30 mile an hour gusts. So we'll have an issue, no less of an issue with the wind, but those whiteouts in the South towns will be a problem. Williamsville near Maple, we got some images coming in. That's great. Gowanda tomorrow. We'll bring this up and see if Gowanda is involved in this. It's going to be just to the south. It's not a direct hit, but I think that there's going to be a period of time in the late morning to early afternoon where you're going to be close enough to bring that snow into you. He wishes people would listen to the driving ban. It's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword because this is such a tough weekend to ignore family and not drive. But it's one that it was a good idea to heed it, definitely. Let me go ahead and we're going to play this while it goes. We appreciate you guys. Haiti, all it does is you guys come into the room and we'll make the information disseminated as much as possible. When will they clear it? They're going to have to run some plows, and that's what's going to happen. Is the snow zone blue or purple? It's the purple. The blue is still part of the blowing snow, but the intense snow is going to be right in there. Orchard Park is involved in this. You can see Tonawanda is kind of on the fringe, and that's only because of what's happening now. Rob wants to know when it goes away altogether. That's going to happen Sunday into Monday. Not snowing in East Aurora yet. It's snowing in Orchard Park, and it will be working its way in there. Congrats to the Bills, 100%.
Hey,
that was
speaking
nice
of the Bills, I got a picture celebration of a fan out there. Lynn sent this in to us.
Let's
we
do
want
it.
to pop it up there. There you go.
Love it.
She was saying, doing snow angels out there. I don't know where Lynn is located, but they were. This person was doing snow angels out there, holding a Bills flag. So
check
good
that
Bills
out. That's
victory
cool
today.
My guess is that was somewhere between Clarence and the Tonawandas, no doubt about it. Is the National Grid doing anything? It's tough to know what they're able to do. Colden as well. How much for Colden? You can see that Colden, I'm going to pause it right there, and Colden is kind of right to the north along Route 240. Right in here in North Boston, and you're going to get some whiteout conditions. You're not going to be the one that gets the biggest total, though. I think that you're going to be outside of that, somewhere in that 8-inch mark in here in Boston and Colden. So it's going to be blowing sideways, but I don't think you're going to be the biggest hit on there as well. Should be all over by Monday. Clarence will lighten up, but it's going to take most of the night tonight. What else do we have here? We have a lot of questions about Niagara Falls. No, Niagara Falls should be done with. If there's one spot that we can finally take out of the mix, it's Niagara Falls, because the band itself right now is essentially on the move. It's slowly being reoriented. The upper level winds, David and I both took a look at this. The upper level winds are attempting to encourage this unwanted visitor in the North Towns to politely move along. And it's not doing it in a very fast fashion, but it is just ever so slightly edging it south of the 290. And it's this slow progression that is going to keep it in that location for another hours, most of the overnight. It's going to take that long for this thing to try to reorient. And a lot of times you look at lake effect and you look back to the west, there's not a whole lot of encouragement that you're going to see a wholesale change in this snow band. It is going to be a slow go. And I have a feeling that when we were talking, when Dave and I were reviewing this, all of the computer models are putting this further to the south of Springville. And it just doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They're all initializing bad. So we're hedging our bets. We're saying that it's South Buffalo and Buffalo are going to hang in this thing longer. No snow in EA. We're going to bring it down here, catch up from some of these. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say the text line is lighting up. It's going crazy right now. Thank you for all the photos and the snow reports that you all are giving us. I just wanted to show you this. And this is basically everybody right now, how the dogs are feeling. Look how high that drift is just on the door, and the dog's is like looking up, like, "Are you
Oh my
kidding me?
gosh.
Do I
Look at that
jump
door.
over this? How
Unreal.
tall?
Unreal.
It's unreal. Yeah.
How much for the fairgrounds in here? I know they canceled their Festival of Lights early out there for good reason, because they just weren't going to get any. I think the fairgrounds is starting to get snow. Anybody by Blaisdell, Lackawanna? Are you getting whiteouts in Blaisdell and Lackawanna? Does your window look like this? This is our downtown sky cam. So this is what we'd like to know. If you have some ground truth out there, if you're in those locations, let us know. What does it look like between Warsaw and Alden? Not good. You're going to be right in the center of this. See that snow band trying to edge into your location now? Dunkirk is on track to get a healthy shot of snow. Probably not the 18, but you're going to be in that, maybe that 8 to 14, somewhere in there, depending upon how often this hits the shoreline. And this is the reason why Dunkirk is such a tough call. There's the center of the band out there. Dunkirk is right here. That's a matter of miles. This is going to be something that I think it's going to spend a little less time, because it's going to be more oriented on this northwest. It's going to take longer. So every hour that it doesn't get there tonight, it takes more. It takes snow off of your total. So the Dunkirk total is kind of dropping down a little bit. Whiteout by the stadium. Thank you, Jay. That's cool. Snowing lightly in West Seneca, but blowing. Yeah, that's why you're in that different color in West Seneca. You're in the white, and it's the blue right in here. It's a very narrow ribbon that runs from Kenmore to Buffalo, and they would love to hand it off to West Seneca and Lancaster, but just not yet. East Aurora and Orchard Park. The closer you are to the lake, that's where you get it here. She couldn't.
Hey, we're getting another picture here.
What's that?
We're getting another picture in here. This is South Buffalo, the Bologna district. I'm trying to find who's just sent this to us, but you can see the drifts up to the cars now.
They know who they are, and that is hopefully that's their neighbor's car and not theirs. It doesn't say no. It is not. It is just kind of holding its ground, and it's going to slowly inch its way down, nonstop in Parkside. That's what we're finding there as well. Look at this. A lot of snow. Where's it? A lot of snow again in Depew. Kathy says another one. Depew should be slowly inching out of this. We'll bring it back again. This is crawling through, but it is on the move. That's the good sign. It is off of Grand Island. It's out of North Tonawanda. It's still right on the edge of Tonawanda, the Kenton area, watching this band, trying to disseminate when this is happening. If we keep the cursor right there, what you'll notice is that the edge of that band starts to drop about a cursor width. And that's an indication that eventually the rest of that will start to ooze that direction. So it's taking a long time. Blowing snow in South Buffalo, that's the view. Look at the trees in there. Those trees are still getting pushed by all of that wind. West Seneca near the 219 getting smoked again on Southwest West Seneca, another one. Cowsville is going to see some snow as well. Yes, you're going to see this as it transitions down. Will it get to ski country? I don't think it's going to make it down to ski country. Maybe Colden has a better chance than the folks down in Ellicottville. I think that's the situation there. Hey, Dave, if you want to look, let's see if Holiday Valley's making any snow tonight. If you got a chance to take a peek at that, we'll go look at that. Winds tonight and tomorrow. You're seeing the winds ratchet down from the numbers that we had yesterday. The 60-mile-an-hour gusts, we're dropping them down into the 50-miles-an-hour range. She wants to know, are we done in Albion and Medina soon? Well, if you look at that Doppler and we zoom in here, you're going to, as it changes in the city, it's going to change up here as well. Hopefully you're seeing some improvement in Medina right now. You're right on the edge of the lighter stuff. That's going to continue to go over here. Akron, Elba, Batavia will start to see it more than Medina. So that's where that's headed there. South Cheektowaga is horrible. You're right in the middle of it again. Sorry, Cheektowaga. I wish I had better news for you. Will it slow down and open the throughways? That's $1 million question. They got to clear the roads before they can even think about that as well. That's going to be tricky. When's travel going to be normal again? Not until Monday, I think. I think Monday might be the day if they can. And again, you're going to get hit in the South towns tonight. So travel for the North towns might improve, but now they've got to clear that out. It's going to take a day And keep in mind, tomorrow is Christmas. We might not have schools open. Well, there's no school in a lot of schools, but we might not go back to normal until Tuesday around here. North Collins, Jay, you look a lot like that guy who's throwing the football today. Did QB1 sneak into the live stream here, wondering about it? I know he's a Southtowns guy. This is where we have down here in Collins. You're really outside of the light snow right now, but it's expanding in your direction. All indications are that this is going to start to see blowing snow from Hamburg even into Holland and Springville. You're just not the dead center of all of that as well. Let's go ahead and look at this. When will the Bills get home? I don't think anybody was going to meet them tonight. Let's be realistic. I think they're going to try to come home Monday, and they fly through Pryor, so they're not flying Southwest commercial. Lancaster's pretty bad. No emergency services in a bunch of town. Wow, that's going to be tough. What's in line for Hamburg and OP, Rachel? We talked about this. It is inching its way in. I can attest that there's snow coming down sideways here. We talked about someone who said there's a whiteout by the stadium, bursts of snow. So that's what's coming our way. You're going to be in that area that has the best chance to have whiteouts tomorrow. If you thought maybe you were going to travel out in this stuff, not until we see this. And it does look like, again, this is the stadium located here, Orchard Park, East Aurora, West Seneca, Buffalo. It's going to be tough travel tonight and then through a good chunk of the day tomorrow. Can't see out
by the way,
window.
Yeah, I know. Hey, look, we're tracking lake effect snow, but I don't know if you wanted to track Santa and give an update where he is right now. He's in South America. He's flying over Paraguay. So he's making his rounds around the world right now, but just wanted to give you a NORAD radar update as to where Santa is right now. And unfortunately, I cannot get to the Holiday Valley webcams right now.
No problem.
Like their website is down.
Gotcha. Oh, no problem. Can't see out. What do we have here? Clarence and Williamsville getting hit hard. This should do it. This is an interesting question that John has. Thanks for asking this one. Does the National Weather Service switch the blizzard warning to a winter storm tomorrow for the southern tier Erie County? No. As a matter of fact, I think you're still going to have criteria for that, and they may just leave it in place and kind of let it ride. There'd have to be a drastic reduction of the winds, but I think you're going to have the low visibility, the intensity of the snow, and then and it's all going to kind of come together. I think they'll hold it there. The north towns, northern Erie County, you could make an argument for that, but I think southern Erie County is going to be the one that holds it there a little bit more. Yay! If there's one thing we can count on, right, it's Santa. He's coming no matter what. This map is for tonight and for tomorrow. So these are the areas that are going to be most affected. That if we want to go to right now and show you what's going on, we're happy to do it. All you have to do is ask what you want. You can just put your comment in. We can see it, and we're happy to put the information on the screen that you're looking for as quick as we can. And we just kind of keep it going. In 2014, Cowsville got 88 inches. Yeah, you are not getting 88 inches out of this one. Everybody stay home tomorrow, so the plows can work. Let them get it done. The quicker they work, the quicker we go back to normal. But how many plows are really going to be out on Christmas? That'll be a tricky one. How much snow is coming to Alden? Alden is going to be up in this area here, and it does look like that all Akron and Alden are right up in that kind of in the same neighborhood with the A's. Right there, kind of Lancaster. Tomorrow is going to be a worse day in Alden than it was today. Springville is going to see this again. When I say hit, you'll be hit with blowing and drifting snow, but you're not going to have the direct hit that the city is getting. That intense snow should stay north of you as well. We've got Jennifer in here. She says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas right back to you. Will the South Towns get the same winds that Buffalo and the North Towns did? They will die down. They'll come down a notch. No power outages. If you haven't lost power now, you're not going to lose it tomorrow because the winds continue to slowly drop down. But you are going to have blowing and drifting snow. Medina going to get better as well. As we go back to the north, you can see you're right on the edge. This will be improving right through the overnight. Absolutely. It took forever to get that out of the North Towns. This thing was one of the most stubborn. It wanted to just continue to deliver for Grand Island today. And unfortunately, it stayed there about 6 hours longer than it should have, according to the computers. But that's just how it is. And, that's why a human, we look at it and we say tonight, based on what we're seeing, this movement is going to be ever so slowly to the south. So we're expecting it to be in the downtown Buffalo area a little bit longer. Lockport, you're done. This is going to continue to go to the south as well. The extreme cold goes away early next week as well. When is West Seneca? Is it going to be bad all day tomorrow? You can pretty much plan that West Seneca is going to be right in the mix tonight and early tomorrow.
In fact, I do have a night tech camera pulled up right now in West Seneca if you want to take a look at it. This is Route 400. This is right around Union Road, the bridge, the 400 exchange right there. And you can see the snow drifts just piling up on the guardrails and blowing snow out there too. So yeah, what you see is what you're looking at right now in West Seneca.
That's right. Here's another one. OP by the stadium is rough right now. That's a second person that's told us that. It says, will they ticket and tow Santa for violating the driving ban? No, I think they're just going to give the jolly gentleman a pass on this one. As long as he shares some Krupnik, and we'll be all good. Joel wants to know, is it really improving? It's really improving in Amherst right now? That's interesting to hear. Let's go put this on the map and see what part of Amherst he's in. I believe that if you're over by the 990, the university area, we're right in here, UB. If you're on this side of the 990, it's not doing so good. You still have it. But boy, look at this. North Tonawanda, 270. Millersport is probably getting better. Right at the middle of the interchange, you go north on 78, you're looking great. Lockport was windy and snow. They have 10-foot snow drifts. Jesse, if you've got a 10-foot snow drift, here's the number. Text it right there, right now. 503-ANDY, 503-2639. That is huge, a 10-footer. I don't think we've seen. Do you have that 9-foot one that I sent you, Dave?
Is that 9-foot? I have so many pictures downloaded now.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll try and search for it.
Yeah, no problem.
We're getting so many pictures in right now.
That's great. Look, ice here. Thank you. Look at this. That's hoax. Anybody looking for a fish dinner? It's not happening for a while. But
I got it.
Really, really picturesque. Is this thing? Look at the lake. Wow. All right, there it is. There's got to be something underneath there, right?
I was going to say that.
There's got to be something. That is roof height, but it is so oddly formed that it's got to be. I can't believe it's just straight. If that's straight up, that is like the Mount Rushmore or the what's the one I'm thinking in Tibet? The big,
Himalayan.
Yeah, it's like that's a Himalayan drift.
Yeah.
So that's what that one is right there. Clarence, let's go to this. Enough of that drift. Wow, but that's a good one. All right, as we're watching what's going on in Clarence, you're still getting clobbered in Clarence, no doubt about it. This is going to be that way it's going to be hours before it gets out of there. Will the band fall south of Lancaster later tonight? Tonight it's in Lancaster. I think it's going to spend a lot of time between downtown Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, West Seneca, and Orchard Park inland to Akron and Alden. If Akron and Alden are uprights, I think this thing is going to split the uprights. In West Seneca, the edge of Orchard Park off Southwestern Boulevard, over by Lydecker. So we've got whiteouts conditions. What does he say? It's a whiteout condition over by Lydecker on 20. So if you take 78 there, so he's right over here. So they're saying the conditions on Southwestern, right in that spot there by the YMCA is located on the corner there. Whiteout conditions now extending into portions of West Seneca. So that's where it is now. Elma tomorrow, you're going to pretty much get what's coming right now. That's going to slowly drift to the south and wobble through the south towns. This is going to be with us. It won't end completely until Monday morning. Sloan is really bad. Yeah, Sloan is right in the center there. I actually know the mayor of Sloan. Roz is the mayor, unofficial mayor.
Hey,
but anyway,
of Sloan, I got a picture from Cheektowaga right in the area. So Sloan, Cheektowaga. This is Lisa. She built a dog tunnel for her pup to go through. But you can see the nose. I mean, it's just covered in ice and
Yep.
snow, and
Wow.
it is cold. You do not
Not
want to
fun.
have your puppies out there for long. I mean, I
Yeah.
know my pup from experience. I mean, she's a bloodhound. She's a warm dog. She's got all that layering on her. She doesn't want to be out for 2-3 minutes tops. She wants to go flying back in.
Yeah. No, there should not be any more power outages. If you haven't lost power by now, you're probably not going to lose it again. How much more for downtown Buffalo? We'll talk totals real quick. And again, I think when we address what everybody was talking about today, and it wasn't the sheer amount of, nobody went and said, well, this amount of snow, we've never had it before. We've all had snow of this magnitude, but the fact that it blew around the way that it did, that's the biggest issue. So this is going to get us through tonight and into tomorrow, and you could sit another 9 to 12 inches in a lot of these locations that are in that purple on the screen. Outside of that, the numbers do come down, but you're still going to have the blowing snow during Christmas Day. So things aren't going to get pretty anytime soon. Is Erie clear on Monday? Yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania, you'll get the all clear as we go through the day on Monday. I'm going to just have this kind of loop around for a minute while we answer some more questions again in here.
I do have a picture out from Akron right now.
There it is.
So some major drifts. These are mobile homes. That's a vehicle right here, and that is tall. Yeah.
It makes me want to see where the end of that is. Like, how did that drift occur like that? Wow.
Yeah, I think this is actually a car buried under here.
Yeah, there's got to be the side view mirror, but that's a pretty good drift. Buffalo tomorrow. Millie, hopefully this is going to be a little south of where you are tomorrow. Tonight it is right on us, and the next zoom here, the next destination takes us into the city, and I'll pause it on Buffalo. You can see the reason that it's still got Kenmore involved in here is because this thing is just so slow to get out of there. So you've got a few more inches to come in Kenmore tonight. Then it should be south, and it's going to spend its time a little bit further to the south of the city. So this area between now and tomorrow is going to be the worst hit right in there, down to Farnham. And I know Dunkirk, you're on the corner of the screen. Folks were asking about Erie, PA, so you're kind of out of it there. But this is going to make sure that the thruway going south and off to the east doesn't get opened anytime soon. Sandra, thank you. We appreciate you. David and I, Sandra, we thank you so much for coming in. I know we've seen your name in here a number of times. We thank you. And if everybody out there, we've got 880. Can everybody throw us a quick like and a share? I know we haven't asked in a while. I'm guessing the audience is turned over. And if you could do that for us, who's going to be number 900? If you hit it right now, you got a chance to be that person. Let's watch the number pop up. We can see when you guys are in the room and what you're doing and what you want through the comments. So you drive the bus through the comments section. That's what kind of tells us what you are interested in. And we're happy to kind of answer as many questions. And even if we don't call your name out, hopefully we can clump a bunch of them together and you can find the information that you're looking for as we kind of move the maps around and add the communities together. So Kenmore is really the people in Tonawanda, North Tonawanda, are saying we're doing okay. We were hearing that Amherst is improving, and now this is actually just in the last 40 minutes has taken a big jump. Look at this to the south. This is great news to the south of the 990, right, or to the east of it. Look at this, Kenmore, Dave. This is the biggest jump in a half hour we've had in a while, all day actually.
Oh, how it's moving a little bit south?
Yeah, did you see just in the last bit? I know it doesn't look like much, but trust me,
it moved south about, maybe 5 miles. That's
right
significant.
There. Just in the last bit. That's great news. So this should be moving. What does it say? White out in the village of Hamburg now, and it's only going to get worse. Corfu, let's go out here. You're in the snow zone as well. This is all going to be blowing your direction. Lacey in East Aurora, it's going to start snowing later tonight and continue. You're going to find that that's there tomorrow. Nonstop snow since 11 in Kenmore. Kenmore, I think we've got a good shot at getting you clear in the next hour and a half. That would be good. When are you going to be able to shovel in Buffalo without adding more to it? Not until tomorrow. So just hold off on the shoveling. You're going to have a work job in front of you. Lots of snowing and blowing with those strong winds. There's still strong winds gusting to 40 miles an hour. I love it. Someone heard me say Krupnik. That is great. What do we've got in here? Getting better in Kenmore. Good. I knew that was going to be the case, but only if you're near the 290. Hey, Dave, can you grab a 290 cam or any of those up and functioning? We'll take a look at that and see if we can see how much more in Lancaster. Just figure you got a baker's dozen coming in there as well. You're going to find it. You're going to have the same trouble. A lot of these questions were what the North towns were asking. They kept saying, how much, how much? And we kept saying, it's not you're not going to go and put a ruler in it and say, wow, we had this much. It's the drifts. These 2 to 4 foot drifts are coming to Lancaster and Orchard Park. And so that's what's coming. It's not the quote unquote amount of snow. It's the size of the drifts that are going to be there. So we've got lightly snowing Southwestern and Michael, which is interesting because we're getting competing opinions there in that neck of the woods. Someone says it's light snow. Somebody says it's that it's a whiteout out there. So I guess that's open to
and where is this?
Interpretation. More Krupnik. Love it. You have the cam?
I do have a camera. This is the 290 between Main Street and Sheridan Drive. So right near Damon University, the Williamsville area. It's that short exit that you get off on 290, and then there's the Main Street exit, and it's super short. You have to get into the right lane super fast. This is what it looks like right there.
Yep. Hey, I think Jesse might have just named this storm. The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a pretty good one. And you know what? We've got a lot of brains in here. Anybody want to get a name for this storm that will stick? That the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Christmas blizzard of 22. What is this going to be known as? It officially doesn't have a name yet. Like the blizzard of 77. It's a pair of sevens is all you need. I don't know. Is it the blizzard of 22? Is that going to be the thing that sticks? Chickawaga is still right in the center of this thing. Yes, it is. Charging his phone in his car. Tim, great to have you along. That means if you're charging the phone in the car and you're catching us, if you have a question, you want to get something answered, Tim, you put that back in and we'll try to get you right to the top of the list if you want to find something out, because I don't envy that situation. What's the number on here? It is 503-ANDY, 503-2639. If you don't want to look it up, go ahead and pop that in your phone. You can add it as a contact, and if you text weather, you'll get some information, your information right back. There's a Doppler again, and chances the driving ban is going to be lifted not tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tracy, it actually gets worse in the South towns. That's where this is headed. Very little visibility in Clarence and along Shimer Road, and again, it's those winds that are driving this, and Clarence is going to be right over here. Let's make a right turn. Harris Hill, Williamsville, East Amherst, Clarence Center. Those are all the spots there. Oh, my gosh. Mount Everest was the term I was looking for. Thank you. Appreciate that. David says he just threw in a couple of picks. The new snow totals. Let's go ahead and I think, do you still have those or do we drop them?
I accidentally got kicked out of the studio, so I'm now rebooting everything. Okay. But I do
no
have a Lake Erie update.
When you get them, and I got to be honest, we were saying that those are older numbers anyway. They haven't been updated. They'll be updated as early as tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Kilimanjaro, there's another one. Erie on Monday is looking good. What do you got, David?
Yeah, I have an update on Lake Erie. I don't know if you wanted to show this, but the only area on the entire lake right now that has ice is in our neck of the woods. So you see right here where the orange is. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, but the only area that has some ice cubes on there, and good chunks, by the way, you can see. Actually, I just put the hoax camera back up, but there are some good chunks out here towards the mouth of the Buffalo River. But if you look at hoax, this is out at hoax Hamburg. I'll just take that off. You could see some good chunks in the water. I believe that is the sloshing. There you go, sloshing around. Yeah. So,
you want to give let's give Rich a shout out. He braved the ice to go take these pictures today, and look at the slush on the lake. So his Twitter, he's a great follow. It's I believe weather_Buffalo. If you want to check that out. Airport area tomorrow. Let's go back to this, and I think you're going to end up the airport right over here in Chickawaga. You can see how this is slowly sliding south. It's going to very slowly edge out of the city and into the south towns. It may drop the airport into the clear for a little number for a little while, and then it'll go. We just did this, so let me see why these. There we go. We just were able to update the comments, and it just jumped down. So let's find it in here. Grinchmas was one. That's a good one. Freezemas was another one. Any info on the Hoover Beach homes? I don't have any other than they boarded up, and they will be ice castles as well. Let's see. We've got snow stopped in Tonawanda, Eggert near Sheridan. That's good news. Again, this is some folks are tuning in to find out when it's coming. Some folks are tuning in to find out when it's out of here. And as I pause it, let's take it to the end. This is now moving pretty quickly. The camera that we have in the city is still not showing any improvement because the city is still right into there. But I think during the course of this call, that'll happen. We've got another comment saying it's bad in West Seneca. And let me know if you have any more content, Dave. We'll definitely hop into that. I know you're putting it all back together. When is it coming to Hamburg? It will be in Hamburg by tomorrow morning. When you wake up on Christmas morning, you're going to see some snow drifts, some drifting snow out the window, and you're going to say, you know what? We're just going to take it easy and play some games and hang out, and that's it.
Speaking of Hamburg, I got one photo from Hamburg right now. This is from Barb. And
hey, Barb.
You can see somebody just trying to climb the drift. I mean, you're talking about Mount Everest here, and it's getting there.
Mm-hmm. It's coming. When's it going to be done in East Aurora? Not until tomorrow night. So it's going to kind of wobble through the South Town, spend some time there, and then work its way back up to the north. I survived the blizzard of December to remember. 22. Oh, it's a nice one. Kind of a longer one, but it's got a nice ring to it. That's pretty cool. Thank you. After it shifts back, does it come back? It sounds like lyrics to a song. The answer to that is yes and no. It does come back, but it's not going to come back with the same ferocity that it had before. Oh, here's a new one. Blizmas. Right now, I'd ring my bell. My kids are sleeping. Blizmas 22. That one, what do you think, David? It's got legs.
Yeah, it does.
All right, you're holding your vote. I like if someone's got to. I think Blizmas is the one that you've got to. I think that'll be the fun one. I don't know if that's the one that'll go in the history books. It'll probably be the boring one, the Blizzard of 22. But I like Blizmas.
Or the Christmas Blizzard.
The Christmas blizzard. Everyone will refer to it as the Christmas Blizzard. The Snow Miser. Grinchmas was the other one. If there's information, I know we're having some fun with the names, kind of took a moment here, but we'll get right back to it and say if you have stuff you want to know. Bad in South Cheektowaga again. It does not surprise me. North Cheektowaga, South Cheektowaga, there's no spot in Cheektowaga that is good right now. So north, south, east, west Cheektowaga, it is bad all over there. What do we have here? Hate to say it, but this November storm was an omen. Mother Nature not happy. I guess the Bills are so good, the weather decided to just go the opposite direction. No, power outages. If there's one thing I think collectively we're comfortable saying is that the threat of power outages have gone down. Trees aren't coming down anymore. The problem is this snow is going to preclude the workers from getting out there and fixing it. And that's the big issue there. How much to say here says, I don't have much in Niagara Falls and Lewiston border. Boy, some folks got hit up there today. And you're right. If you're on the north end of the falls, so if you're up here in Niagara Falls, let's visit Niagara County. And I'm doing this even though they don't have snow. The cutoff was about right in here. So if you're up by Lewiston, you're kind of on the snow desert up there. See the escarpment on the screen right there, how it shows up? So if you were on this side of the escarpment, you really didn't get much. But wow, Niagara Falls for a while today. We had a live camera up there going. I know that you couldn't see the falls from the Clifton Hill. When is it done in Tonawanda? It's getting there now. It's close. It's leaving the building in Kenmore, so that means that you're on the way as well.
We do have a new photo from Kenmore.
All right, let's do it. Kenmore. Is this the one right here?
Yeah, this is a 6-foot fence.
That's a huge one right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
And
you just gotta wait for those
Hamburg
winds to
says we
die down.
hardly have anything.
Yeah, I can tell you right now in South Buffalo, all the snow it's weird because all the snow that was in the backyard is now like over the cars and the front lawn because that wind was so strong it just like pushed everything out.
Yep. Tonawanda done. And then Mary says, I thought it was called Elliot. Yeah, the Weather Channel named it Elliot, but we get to name our own storm. We don't have to let, no one's going to remember this by Elliot. Let's be honest. It's, Western New Yorkers will end up naming this storm. When is it done in Lancaster? It's just getting going in Lancaster. That's one of the things I think that it's so weird, but the Southtowners have been watching and looking out their windows saying, okay, it's cold and windy, but what's the big deal? Now it's switching. The North towns are cleaning up and the South towns are going to have these whiteouts all day tomorrow. So this is, we had the Friday blizzard part in Cheektowaga and Buffalo, and then it moved up to the North towns today, and now it's going to be in the South towns tomorrow. So this is treating everybody equally. When the roads are clear, it's not for a while. You're not going to get there. No more dreaming. Everybody's got to stop dreaming of the white Christmas. Hey, Dave, I'd like to reset this really quick. And what we're going to do is kind of take everybody soup to nuts on what's happening right now, because I just saw we got a lot of people that just walked into the room. If you're in here, hit the like button and the share button, and we'll try to get everything answered for you. I'm going to
reboot because we're getting a new run of
you're going to do that right now? All right. Then we'll hold off until you're done, which is not a problem. What we're going to talk about is where it is now and what's going. When you are back up and running, you let me know. What we're looking at right now, new data is coming in right now, which will actually be helpful to everybody who's just watching. This is what you can see where it's moving right now. Ever so slowly through Kenmore, it's starting to clear up. The view in downtown Buffalo has not. So we can see that it is not nearly as close to the city as it is to some of those north towns. You can see it right there. Kenmore is looking good, and that's going to continue to improve. Now, who is going to see the snow during the course of the day tomorrow? So let me widen this out. The snow band is still huge. This thing originates back over there. It extends all the way almost to Rochester. So what I'm going to do is kind of take where it's snowing off now, and we're going to put on the screen where we're expecting to see the biggest impact tomorrow. And the biggest impact tomorrow is not going to be north of Buffalo. So what you're seeing here, these numbers, this impact right here, that's done and gone. That has happened just in the last hour. It's going to do the same thing here. Kenmore, you're going to see it drop off quick. You're still going to have a significant impact in the city of Buffalo and then into Hamburg as well. This is where you're going to find it, and in that zone for tonight into early tomorrow morning. That's where it's going to be. Then this thing is going to start to slide down a little bit more and encompass a few more of the south towns. Do you see how it goes to Eden, Angola, and Hamburg? So there might be a time tomorrow that we start to pull Buffalo out of this by mid to late morning into the afternoon. And then it looks like it's going to start to weaken a little bit, and then it will end up bringing itself back to the north as we progress through the day, but in a slightly weakened fashion. You see how it does make it back up to the city, but you don't have the purples. So the intense snow is going to be there through the early morning hours, and by the time this thing gets a little bit later into the morning and afternoon, it goes down a little bit further south and then comes back up in a slightly weakened form once we get to the 26th. But right now, we're kind of focusing on this area. As you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be the ones that are most impacted. All right, let's go and see what we've got in here. We've got a lot of folks saying hello. Thank you very much. I can see all the folks that just liked and shared that. Southern Orchard Park. What are you looking at in South Orchard Park? I know this is a little far out, so let's go ahead and bring it in. The stadium is right in that triangle. If you're going to say South Orchard Park, kind of the 219 over by 391, you're going to be in the snow zone tomorrow. You're going to have whiteout conditions. All of the areas in purple and blue, we'll see that flying by as well. When does the wind settle, and when do the plows get out, even in the middle of the night? It's Christmas Eve. We're about to turn to Christmas Day. Honestly, I don't know how prepared they are to what kind of crews they have available. I would assume they're going to call everybody and their brother to come and drive a plow, but realistically, the cleanup is going to take a day, if not more. When will travel bans be lifted in Buffalo? First, they've got to clear it out. And once they clear it out and make the roads passable, that's when they'll bring that off of there as well. Will it come back to Niagara Falls? No. This is not going to make it back to Niagara Falls. It is it's done. And nothing flurries would be the worst. You've got it. When is West Seneca in the clear? Not until tomorrow evening. That's when West Seneca will be done. It'll take a while to do that. In Hamburg, just looked out the front door. It's back in Hamburg. It is. So that's the strike zone, if you will, as we get into the day tomorrow. Here's where it is right now. As we watch the city of Buffalo again, the view there is some slight improvement, and that's good news. And that's probably because this the snow band is now kind of inching its way through the north towns and into the city of Buffalo. Is ever so close to kind of cracking through. We can probably go street level, and the Peace Bridge is going to be right in there, and it's going to start looking a little bit better as well. So we're seeing improvement in the downtown as we move through the evening hours here. When is it done in Clarence? It'll work its way further south of the thruway overnight. Did we get the 11-foot drift from Sloan? I think we did.
Yes, we did. We showed that.
We saw that when we were able to show it. Williamsville is going to be in the same boat. Let me bring back this map right here. So Williamsville, this will drop south of you in the next few hours as well. Thank you very much, Tom. We appreciate it. Everybody out there, Merry Christmas. We're now coming up on less than 2 hours away from the official holiday, and this snow band is now leaving the north towns. It's progressing into the southern tier, and we're kind of tracking it town by town as it goes there. And you can see it's kind of slowly exiting Kenmore, still snowing to beat the band in Buffalo, Cheektowaga, and Williamsville. Let me know if you have content, Dave.
I do, actually. Just right now, I don't know if you want to go to Grand Island, but this is a rare sight out of the island. You typically don't see drifts this big out there towards near Niagara Falls, but that's a unique sight.
That's a good drift. 100%. A Facebook page, Buffalo Blizzard 2022. That's where they're reaching out for help. And we're talking about the naming. There's a light end of this, but there is still a lot of people who are really dealing with a world of hurt out there. And that view in downtown Buffalo is looking like this. Wow. It is snowing and blowing out there. 100%. That is it is one of those problems that's not going to go away. The visibility, that's going to be a piece of this puzzle that just lasts and lasts and lasts. And there's the Doppler as we kind of watch what's going on in Cheektowaga, West Seneca, Elma. We're adding all these numbers up. Look at how the shift is on as it's off of the island and now a little bit further to the south, and that's where it's going to end up living, pretty much right out to Batavia for the foreseeable future. Here in Hamburg, it says, how much snow are they going to get? You're looking at probably up to a foot of snow in Hamburg out of this. The plow tried to get down their street, and the plow got stuck. I saw video today. I saw video of a front loader escorting a fire engine.
Somebody just shared with us a picture of the band right now in Hamburg. I don't know if you wanted to take a look at it.
But is that it right there?
Yeah, the person said, I think it was an unknown caller, but the person said that this band is back in the Hamburg area, and it certainly is. Just looking at that.
That's Hamburg, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of snow for Hamburg. That's impressive. I didn't think Hamburg had that much snow on the ground because neighboring communities like Orchard Park do not have that kind of snow. But I guess they were the recipient of some of that band, especially near the lakeshore. The further inland you go, Hamburg does not have that kind of situation. But right in there, I guess that's what's going on. That isn't. If you had asked me to bet how much snow snow Hamburg has, I would not have guessed that. Flooding will happen when it's 50. No, not really. Nah. The water content in this snow, it might raise them up, but I don't. It'll be interesting to see if that materializes too.
And by the way, Jay who shared that picture.
What's that?
It was Jay. He's the one that's the picture. He took
that makes sense. If it's over by Frontier, that means that they're closer to the lake. They're on the lake side of Hamburg. as opposed to the interior side of Hamburg. So yeah, now it makes all the sense in the world. Looks like flooding when it warms up late in the week. We'll deal with that when we get there. First, we've got to get it to 50 before we melt it all off, and that will be a part 2 to this. But there'll be some compaction of this, and we'll watch how it all evolves and handle it and take it from that point on. Would want to let everybody know I'm going to pop back up. You guys are driving the bus. Throw the questions in here, and we will knock them down. If you want to see snow totals, the impact zone, if you want to see more pictures, happy to do that. Any content that you want out of here to help you prepare. But what is happening right now is that the snow band is traveling from the north towns. It's exiting the Tonawondas, exiting Kenmore. It's crawling through the city of Buffalo, producing images like this. And all of that is now transitioning into South Buffalo, West Seneca, and all those communities.
Yeah, and I got another picture right now. This is from North Tonawanda. You're going to have some trouble getting outside.
That's one of the ones. Here's a tip from your friends in the North Towns. Open your door repeatedly. Do not sit in your house while this happens. You got to open that door and keep it free. Otherwise, you're gonna run into this, and then you're not able to open that door, and you're crawling out somebody's window. Snow total in Elma. We'll handle that for you. Let's go ahead and bring that back up, and we'll cover that. We got a couple of asks for the impact zone and total. So let's go ahead and bring that particular graphic up. And it's the one that will travel with you here. We'll give you an idea of where it's going and widen it out a bit. You can see that Buffalo is in the impact zone right now. So is Depew. So is Alden. And as we kind of travel through the time tomorrow, this is when you're going to see that this is the path that it takes during your day on Sunday, kind of pulls Buffalo and Depew away from it. There's a question how far south it will go, but it will likely live somewhere between Eden, Angola, and some of the immediate south towns before slowly working its way back late in the day. So that's kind of what you're watching right there. So we go through, there's 1 o'clock. This is Christmas morning. Your kids are going to be up early. Those are the areas that are going to suffer the most impact. So it runs from Hamburg, Orchard Park, East Aurora along 20A. As you get to around noon, that's when it goes a little bit further to the south. So the impact zone is pulled out of the city and Depew. Then you go a little further and it comes back, and it looks like that's going to be late at night into Monday, and you'll probably have some snow showers on Monday. As far as the totals in here, I'm just going to put this on real quick. You're probably in that 8 to 12 inch range in a lot of the locations wherever the purple goes, and that would include down here as well. So really anywhere from Buffalo to Lake Erie Beach, you can expect about a foot of snow. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, I got a brand new snow total from the Buffalo airport. They're now up to 34 inches.
34?
Actually 35. Yeah, they're up to 35.
In a single day?
Throughout the storm.
Oh, the two day total, 35. Yes. So they were at 26. Now they're at 35. I believe you had the graphic in a year, in a snow season. Normally we get to around 95 inches on average. And I believe with this, did we tack on another foot from the last reading, or about 10 inches?
I want to say right around there. Yeah. So we're getting close to the average.
We're close. We're about 80 inches of snow before we even officially turn the page to Christmas here. It says at this point, it's going to take a community of neighbors to get through that. No doubt about it. We did pictures requested for pictures in impact zone, snow totals. We covered that a whole bunch there. Where are we at here? What does this say? My ceiling may collapse with the warm up. I've got a tree limb in my ceiling and it took my gutters off. My goodness, that's a mess. There we go. We just had that one on there. And it says, finally stopping in the town of Tonawanda after 36 hours. You've got your shoveling cut out for you up there in the Tonawandas, no doubt. Is this, how is it going to be compared to the blizzard of 77? Rachel, I don't want to have a huge debate on that. I like to wait until this storm is done. And then show me the pictures, stack them up side to side, which had bigger drifts, which didn't, which one lasted longer, and that situation. So the Tonawandas and Cheektowaga, let's go back to what's going on right now. While I grab that, I want you to look at downtown Buffalo, because on this in the next few minutes, maybe in the next half hour, we're going to find that the city starts to improve pretty well. That's good news for everybody out there. Now let's bring on what we've got here. And I see you've got some new pictures queued. We'll come right back to you, David. But let's go ahead and talk about what we've got on the map as we watch the time lapse. This is the important part. This is where it was. And as we kind of put the timeline on here, you can see the numbers on the screen, 9, 10 o'clock. It's now dropped south of the 290. It's working its way towards the 198. If we want to go in even more, if there's anybody watching in North Buffalo, there's Kenmore. Kenmore, the collective sigh of relief for Kenmore and North Buffalo. This is where the park is, right here, Delaware Park. You can see as this begins to, the edge of the snow band starts crawling towards the 198 and the 33. That's where it's moving right now. If you look at the 990, you're going to find the same improvement there in the clear. And in the edge of that, we include Rapids, South Lockport, and then we'll widen it out even more. Middleport, Medina. This is going to offer improvement all the way up there. No problem. Hey, thank you guys for all popping in. It's everybody that hits the like and share button made this possible. It was all great. Time to dig out in downtown Buffalo. Dave, what time do you want to tell them? When should you start digging? Tomorrow, after you open gifts, dig it out.
Yeah,
right?
The good news is the winds. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the winds aren't as howling compared to the past 24, 36 hours. So that's certainly good news. But I would say definitely during the afternoon would be a good time to get out there and start digging.
Yep, I think that's good advice. Real quick here, we do have some improvement. We're able to actually see some buildings for the first time in a number of hours here. Pictures of he wants to see high snow drifts. Do you have one teed up?
Yeah, I do. And on the text line, I mean, we're still getting
that's great
plowed with so many texts, and somebody from Gettsville texted this to us. And I can't tell you how many people are like, the North Towns, hey, I'm so happy the snow has stopped finally out there. And the person out in Gettsville said the same thing. So
there you go.
Yeah, they've got some drifts and they got some digging to do too.
What causes the lake and Niagara riverbanks to rise as they do? That's known as the seiche, and it's those big 60-mile-an-hour winds that came pushing the water from one end of the lake to the next. The simple thing, imagine this is just one big floating pool of water. When the winds come and push from Toledo and go this direction, they push all the water right to this end of the lake, and it kind of Long Point funnels it filters down here, it hits the shallow end, and then it rises right into the city of Buffalo. And the areas of most impact, you can see, is it gets very narrow, shallower at this end of the lake, and then that's when that 8-foot rise affects everyone from the shoreline all the way into the city of Buffalo. It swallows up the breakwalls right in here. All of these get buried by the 8-foot swells, and then it gets into canal side and messes around there and cause a real problem. So it's the winds pushing water up to this end of the lake. Let's see, we've got Tug Hill checking in. What is it? Tug Hill getting 3 to 4 feet of snow, 100%. That's another one.
That's an area that always gets plowed.
Tug Hill. If you want snow, don't try living in the South Towns. Go up to Tug Hill. This snow, the snow band, after starting very slowly, is really beginning to move, and how rapidly the clearing is occurring in the city. I know it doesn't look nice, but it was a whiteout moments ago. So this is how quickly it will clear as it starts pulling in here. How long will it stay overnight in Hamburg? It's going to stay most of the day in Hamburg. Do you have that? Here, we'll take a look at how long the snow band is. 300. You put this graphic together, David. Simple, but it's a good explanation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible how strong the winds have been, and it's pushed this band off of Lake Erie all the way into Ottawa, Canada. So Canada's not benefiting, but they're getting snow from Lake Erie. I mean, I think that's incredible. That's more than 350 miles away. It's insane. It's
a long one.
Yeah.
They want to know where we send pictures. This is it right here. It's the text line. You can send your image not your video, but send an image to 503-ANDY, 503-2639. You can text the word weather there anytime and get a quick reply back. So there you go.
And I do have another picture.
Great, there it is.
It's somewhere in the North Towns. I apologize. I don't remember exactly where this is.
That's
it might have
okay.
been in Kenmore. But I mean, it's a beautiful picture, but you can see how fine the snow is. I mean, it's light and it's easy for that wind just to pick it up and throw it towards the porches and the patios.
That's exactly what's happening to that. So let's take a look at what we've got over on the next question here. She said, was the blizzard of 77 just in the 716 or was it in the 5852? It blew that snow all the way inland. I mean, into other counties. Yeah, it wasn't just Erie County took the major brunt of it, but it wasn't the only one there as well. Can we switch back to the view with the time on the map? So yeah, that's the one that you're looking at right here. This is the radar that's happening right now. It's the one that we're watching. So we're trying to let people know Kenmore is in the clear and the city is next. Tonawanda should be clearing up as well. We're getting a lot of information on that. Kaisertown has way more than that. If you have more than that, then you got to prove it. The snow total in Clarence is a pretty big one. You're going to find numbers in Clarence after you add on what you're getting out there right now, because in Clarence, that snow total is going up as we speak. So we're going to find that those numbers are well over that. She says 34 inches of snow out there. It's not surprising. That's what the airport is saying as well. Power outages. Melissa, this is such a tough call, but the wind is the biggest thing. The wind and the visibility. Those guys will work in the cold, but they can't do it without being able to go safely up in the bucket trucks. 716-503-2639. That's the number right there.
And just to add to that, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz had a press conference at Ford this afternoon, and he was saying that he's hopeful that a lot of the power outages will be resolved by late Christmas Day.
Gotcha.
So that's the hopeful. That's the goal right now. And by the way, I got new video out there in the middle of the band. This is from West Seneca Police. This is in the Wegmans parking lot out there. So right around Orchard Park Road.
Was that current?
Yeah.
Is that taking
this
just recently?
Is happening right now. This is in the Wegmans parking lot. I mean, you're
Ridge
not
Road?
going to Wegmans.
Did you just say was that Ridge?
Yeah, Ridge and Orchard Park, that area.
All right, so that's 240 right over there. So this is the area where that image is from, and I'll kind of pop this back on. So that's the spot right here. As we look at where the Ridge Road. There's the 400, so it's going to be right in here, 240 near the 90. So those kind of conditions are being experienced with the winds now on this side of downtown Buffalo. It was in the North Towns, but now that's on this side, and it's going to continue to press further south and swallowing up more and more of the South Towns, Sturgeon Point, Derby, Eden, Angola, Holland, Colden. That's where it's all. That's where it's all coming. Kirk, great to have you on the YouTube tonight. Left Buffalo in 1999, couldn't take that snow anymore. Great to have you along. Doesn't matter whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. Everybody just hit the like and share button. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's what allows us to do this for all of you guys. What to expect by Abbott Road and the Bills Stadium. So what you're going to get are those images that we just saw from the West Seneca Police Department, whose Twitter is an absolute blast to follow as well. This is the triangle where the stadium is. So you're going to find these conditions tonight. And the question was, what is it going to be like by the stadium? The whiteout conditions are coming your way. They're going to be with us there on Christmas morning and likely on and off throughout the day there as well. It's coming to PA.
I do a new picture.
No, this does not make it all the way to PA. What do you got, Dave?
Yeah, this was from Nigel, our friend up in Fort Erie. And
gotcha.
He took that. I mean, the winds are still gusting, and they're gusting enough to make whiteout conditions. But this is what that band is. If you're in that band, that worst of the worst conditions, this is in Fort Erie.
Yep. We talked about West Seneca. Tonawanda is getting better now. Erie, Pennsylvania, you're not going to be involved in this as much. It should be okay. What is the latest temperature on Lake Erie, David? Give me a number.
32.
There you go. starting to freeze. Amherst starting to clear the side streets. That's fantastic. Good news there. First, hopefully you'll get a front loader for Christmas. No, we haven't started streaming on TikTok, but there's demand. We'll float it out there as well. Have a little fun on TikTok as well. Rachel says, "Merry Christmas." Thank you very much, Rachel. We appreciate everybody in here, and it's great to be able to help everybody. And Merry Christmas to everybody. And when is the lake going to be frozen? Well, it looks like I would bet we'll start to see chunks of it get frozen by the 15th of January.
Already there on the side of our
ice.
Ice cubes.
What do you got, David?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is in the Amherst area. The person who sent this, JJ, he was saying that these are 8-foot drifts out there in Amherst.
That's big.
Yeah.
The winds have died down, they're saying. He's saying, hey, it's dropping down a little bit. Yes. The lake was 32 yesterday. We did talk about that. Absolutely. It says the north end was always by the airport and the south towards West Seneca. It's not split, but two ends. They got different weather. Yeah, a little bit. There was definitely a difference between the north towns and the south towns. Pictures of Canal Side. Haven't seen them since we had the Lake Sache, the storm surge the other day. And that was it. With a couple feet in Lockport. It's been dumping up there like a snow globe all day. It's stopped now. Yeah, let me bring this back to the this one right here. Bring that one back in. This is where it is right now. Honestly, we can give you literally minute by minute updates as this now finally is beginning to move a little bit more faster than it did before. This is the view of downtown Buffalo. I was hoping to get you some of the cars that are buried in there, but I don't think we're going to be able to pick that out. But it looks like with the way this band is moving, we'll be able to see into the city here pretty soon, because what we're finding is that this is all heading out of this. Let's go right to the end. That's the latest. So it is now well south of the 290, the 990. It's headed towards the 190 interchange in there as well. So downtown should start to break out into some clearing there as well. Is it going to end in the morning? It should be ending in Kenmore in the next couple of hours, maybe another hour to totally clear it. But the northern side is better as well. They're starting to clear the side streets at Maple and Sweet Home. That's great to be that particular. Winds aren't as bad as they were, but the snow is coming down. That's right. So you're going to find that now you get the snow and some of those wind elements mixed together. That's not going to be a pleasant situation. Hopefully they can get the plows rolling, says Dawn. That would be great. It is Christmas, though. So how many plows are they going to get rolling? Cheryl can't see out her windows in South Buffalo. The snow coming back to Tonawanda. Megan, the snow should not make it all the way to Tonawanda until Monday. And on Monday, it will not be as strong. The winds will have dropped. You'll find regular old garden variety snow showers that will not be as blinding as that as well. It says we know where it is. Finding your way in a whiteout is with unplowed roads is just impossible to do. Newfane is in the clear. Yes, you're good as well. And no problem, Julie. It's our pleasure to do this, kind of providing the information. There was such a demand for information. We felt like Western New Yorkers were kind of left out. The crews that normally disseminate this type of information, they just didn't have the manpower, and we wanted to step in and kind of fill that void that people were having and answer the questions. And here you can see another view of downtown. Let's see if we can grab the cars real quick. This is probably going to be too dark to see them. Last time we looked in on them, they were half buried. You can almost make out the car, but not quite. So we'll see if that comes in the view. So again, the city kind of clearing out and looking at how this goes. How does it take for the roads? How does it look for the roads to be cleared in Akron and Newfane in the morning? I think if we look at where Akron is on the map, Akron still has a chance to be picking up some snow through another chunk of the overnight. Eventually, it will go south of the thruway tomorrow, so that bodes well for Akron, I think, in at least getting some stuff cleared out. The Humbug Blizzard, another one of the names that we were wondering, what is this going to be called? Question of the day: is it going to hit Springville? You're going to get some snow showers down there, just as it's snowing and Eden as this band kind of reorients. But the question is, does it make it all the way to provide a direct hit down there in Springville? And as we watch this, you can see the impact zone sliding through the day, and it comes near Springville, but it's never kind of a direct hit. I think it's going to be enough that you're going to have blowing snow and some inches of accumulation, but you're not the direct hit. It's anywhere within that purple that you could get a foot of blowing snow tomorrow. So that's the one. That's the big one. A lot of people without power. I know some folks that have been out without power for a day and they just got turned on. The stop time in Depew. Do we want to kind of gauge that for him, Dave? You got a stop time for Depew?
Depew, I mean, it's going to be a while, but you're probably going to break sometime Christmas morning. I will say I have a new picture for you, by the way.
Yeah,
if you
let's
want to
fire
take
it
a
up.
look at it. This is the Elmwood Village. And that's a lot of snow on the patio.
Snowmageddon blizzard.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's a lot of snow. You're not going to use that patio anytime soon. We got ours back in West Seneca, South Buffalo line this evening. So happy to sit tight and just watch it come. That is it. Power back is back on the west side. Those guys are working. I mean, we're doing our job. We're comfy and warm, talking about the radar and everything. But those guys are out. They're climbing poles, fixing wires. They're doing the real work up there. And kudos to them. You know, hopefully someone brings them a hot beverage because they're going to need it working out there in these type of temperatures. Look at who just stopped by. If it isn't Mr. Mike himself, when is the
Magic
heavy
Mike
stuff going to come down? So, Mr. Lush, first of all, Merry Christmas to you, brother. And the heavy stuff is coming down in the city. It's beginning to weaken, but it's now moving into Blaisdell, Depew. It's probably out by Cheektowaga in sections near the Galleria, and it's going to continue to slide. You can see the edge of that band just about into the city, and it's getting worse in some of the south towns. It is not going to have the same intensity that we had when this thing cranked up, but it is going to be enough that you'll have those bad travel conditions, and it's going to preclude them from opening up the roads, I think. Airport areas in there as well. We can zero in on the airport. You can find it very easily right in here as we look at the 90 and the 33. And it's this large area where they land the planes. It's getting close. It's getting close, Cheektowaga. The edge of that is now crawling along Sheridan Drive by the boulevard. That's about the edge of it. And it's going to continue moving that direction into the south towns tomorrow. Look at this. It's a little reunion in here. This is past everybody. Well, you're past your bedtime too, David, for all that matters. We've got, thank you very much. We appreciate it, buddy. We'll get poker nights going again. There we go. All right. If anybody, you know what, we're having fun. We've kind of hit a bunch of the same questions here. I'm going to pop us back up on camera. If the folks in the room, if you have some more questions, pop them in, we'll take them. Otherwise, if everybody feels sufficiently informed, we're happy to kind of turn everybody loose and send everybody to Christmas. And
I do have one more picture to share.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is at a hair salon in the North Towns. You can see, I mean, it's right up to the door, almost to the top of the door, by the way. That's how big the drifts are going. And somebody, I think, tried to move all that snow away from the door, and they just kind of gave up there. But I mean, it's piling. I mean, those drifts are high.
Yep. Very calm in Ransomville right now. Thank you very much. The power's on and the water is running. That's awesome. Merry Christmas to you, Barb. There's been such a debilitating event. There's been such warm reactions in here, and we're happy to provide a small amount of information and help to get everybody through this one. Does it come back to the North Towns after tomorrow? It does, but only flurries. So you're good. What's going to be happening in North Collins tomorrow? You're going to be on the edge of all of this. Dave, you have it called up? Let's do it. Let's run you through time. This is the new version too, isn't it?
Yeah, and it initialized better, but it's
Good.
still a little bit too far south at this time. But the
All
trend
right.
right now is that it's going to be sitting over the city of Buffalo through midnight, moving into the south towns. I mean, you're already seeing reports of this into West Seneca, Hamburg, and Orchard Park, and it's just going to sit on top of the south towns through Christmas morning, moving a little bit south for areas 219 down to Dunkirk and Silver Creek. Those areas getting hit in the morning, and then the afternoon this moves right on back up towards the city of Buffalo. So that is the latest run of what we're seeing for Christmas Day.
Yeah. Where is it? When is the 90 opening? That's $1 million question. They may be able to open a portion of it tomorrow. But I got to tell you, with the plows, I think it's going to take a long time to get all that done. Sandra, well said. Thank you very much. And in the City of Good Neighbors, make sure you help somebody tomorrow. And if you could throw one more like and share on this thing for us, that would be all that we ask. A good Christmas present is knowing that we've helped everybody as much as we can. There's that picture again is up on the screen. All right, let's bring this back. We'll look at it one more time. The city, downtown Buffalo. I was hoping to show you those cars in there. That's just not going to happen because it is not clearing up enough to get a decent picture of the ground. So we're only able to see the buildings in the city to a certain extent. So it's still blowing and snowing in a lot of the locations around Western New York. I think the takeaway here is that it is on the move. Finally, after hanging out for it spent an extra 6 hours in Grand Island, the Tonawondas, and Kenmore, enough to really cause some problems. The edge of this coming into Buffalo, Harris Hill, and areas south of the 90 will improve overnight. Areas along the 219 will start to deteriorate, and it will go right along the shoreline. We talked about this colliding with Dunkirk. Even though you're not a direct hit, you're going to start to feel the impact from this band. And David, as we look at the origination point of this, that has slid a quarter of the lake now. And it's really begun to reposition in itself just in the last hour. That's great news. That means it's going to swing the whole thing right here into the south towns. But that's going to set up that impact zone and provide that spot right there. So tomorrow, the impact is going to shift from there in the city down into this spot right in here. And within there, you're looking at pretty big numbers, 9, 10, 12 inches of snow on in there as this thing kind of wobbles between you and some of those deeper south towns like Evans, Angola, some of the Boston Hills, and then it may leave West Seneca for a time, but I think it's going to be there for much of the day. So that's what we've got going on there. How much do we expect in Derby? You're right in the middle of that, anywhere from maybe 10 to 14 inches of snow. You've still got Phyllis has people trying to get into town. They're in the Finger Lakes area. Well, there's a route to get here, but you can only take the 90 for so long, and then that's it, and it's over. So I'll throw this on the screen one more time, and we'll kind of leave you with that. If you're able to, go ahead and put this in your phone, and you can have 503-ANDY, 503-2639 in the 716 area code. Put it in there as a contact. You can text pictures to it. If you type the word weather, you'll get a quick forecast back with a link to one of the latest the videos that we made, so you can have that forecast on demand whenever you want. On behalf of David Vogan, myself, and all the folks that have made this possible, we appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you